I'm going to be removing this code. We don't need it. So all of our DOM related code will be here. So when we do all of our event listeners, they will all go in here. They can be here or they can be inside a function. So I'm just going to remove the console log. So what I want to do is I want to associate button 1. I want to add an event listener. I want to tie it to the event called onClick. And then when that event happens, I want to call the change size function. This is the same as saying onClick on HTML. You have to remember when this code gets executed, it is not going to immediately call this function. It is going to make a note somewhere in its list of things to do saying that if button 1 ever gets clicked, we have to call this function called change size. Notice how I did not call it like this. This is how we normally do a function invocation. The reason being, I don't want to actually call the function right now. I am deferring the call of the function to a later time, which would be when the button gets clicked. So you should not be using the parenthesis here. That is bad if you do that. Okay, function name only. No, not this guy. You don't want the, do not use the parenthesis. Okay, so what happens now is it is just making a mental note that when button 1 is clicked, you have to call the change size. So let's see how this works. Okay, so I'm going to go say 300 pixel, change size. There you go, it's working. So I'm going to say 100 pixel, change size. Let's go examine the HTML. This button. So if you see the HTML, you can see that there is no onClick event here because there is one inside the JavaScript. So the JavaScript onClick event makes a note. This statement just makes a note in the memory saying when there is a click event for button 1, call this function. Okay, so we can do the same thing for the rest of the buttons on the page. So all the buttons that we have on the page, we can change it so that it gets called. Like we can take this guy out. So now it's going to work like magic. Even though there is no call, it will still work. Okay, let's go to JavaScript. Button 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's change this guy also. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So button 2.add event listener. All of them are click events. So another thing to note is I'm not saying onClick. Change size, change shape. So I'm not saying onClick here. You have to just say the name of the event. We just click. So that guy is change shape. Button 3.add event listener. That's going to be again click.